好啦，咁今日咧，我哋又嚟咗一個莊主咯喎。咁今次呢個國家就比較特別啲嘅，就係智利。咁我相信好多朋友咧都會有飲過智利嘅酒啦，但可能佢哋對智利裏面嘅風格啊，或者好多嘢都未必好熟悉嘅。咁我哋今次咧就會請到Viu Manent 嘅莊主同我哋講解一下智利嘅酒，佢哋有啲咩特別咯。Hi, Jose. Jose.
Hi, how are you? Jose, no?
Yeah, Jose. I know
Perfectly
it's,
pronounced.
yeah, a Spanish name,
Yeah,
right?
Spanish. Yeah.
So you are the third generation of the Viu Manent winery, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people all know that Chile is a very long country. So where all your vineyards are located?
Chile is a very long country. It's in the west coast of South America, facing the Pacific Ocean, with Cordillera Los Andes in between Chile and Argentina. Argentina is in the Atlantic side of South America, and we are in the Pacific side of South America. Chile is about 5,000 kilometers long, but very thin.
Yes.
In some areas, only 80 or 100 kilometers wide, and some other areas is wider. But the wine growing area, it's really extensive, but it's not everywhere in the country, of course. It's concentrated in the center of Chile, in an area of about 1,500 kilometers long.
Okay.
That's the area we call the viticulturist area, where we have a lot of different conditions, kind of soils, and very important climate and microclimates. When the influence of Cordillera Los Andes, that in general act as a cooling system, air conditioning, bringing cool breezes from Argentina that pass through Cordillera Los Andes, dry the earth and cool down the earth, and that's one of the important effects. And on the other hand, you have the Andes, influenced by the cold Humboldt current, that reduce the temperatures in Chile, especially during the summer, because that influence. You receive a lot of breezes from the ocean, especially when the sun is the sunrise. You feel the difference in temperatures. You have like 30 or 32 or 34 degrees during summer at day, and at night you could have like 10 or 11. So you have 20 degrees of range. And that's a really good quality factor for the quality of the grapes in Chile.
So it can be like maintain the acidity, but on the other hand, give some enough energy for ripening of the grapes, right?
Yeah. The conditions of Chile are really like a paradise. We have plenty of sun. We have all the rain concentrated in during the winter. That means 3 months in the year. Then you have sometimes showers, but not showers that can affect the quality. You have a very Mediterranean climate with a long, dry and warm season, but affected by those cool breezes from Cordillera and from the ocean. So you have the right time for the ripening, a long ripening of the grapes, the right temperatures to produce all the sugar necessary for the alcohol, but the low temperatures to keep the acidity high and to finally have balanced grapes and wines.
Okay, so for your wines, they are all from Chitchat Valley, right? Is my pronunciation correct?
Yeah, it's a Colchagua. It's a native word of Chile. That's the name of an area that is nowadays the most important area in Chile for production of quality wines. It has a traditional area in the heart of Colchagua, where the most part of the wines are produced, but also new areas in the coast of Colchagua, where we're producing white wines and Pinot Noir also, and also in the foothills of the Andes mountains. So there you also can produce more cool climate grape varieties. So the diversity of soils and climates inside, we were talking about Chile diversity, but now we are talking about Colchagua diversity. It's really high. Yeah? Okay. And from there we get all the grapes we produce. We have 3 different states in the whole of them in Colchagua. But together with that, we also have some grapes coming from Casablanca. Casablanca is a coastal region outside Colchagua, and we source some of our whites, the Chardonnay and the Sauvignon Blanc, at the Grand Reserve level, and also Pinot Noir from there.
Okay, but other than that, most like Cabernet, Malbec, and Cabernet Sauvignon, and Petit Verdot, that is most likely from...
No, definitely, yeah. Yeah, they all come from our own vineyards and from Colchagua, who actually is a place with very good conditions for whites and reds, but the herd of Colchagua, the most important area where the most part of the vineyards are, is the red production area. So we produce in Colchagua, in our estates, mostly reds and few whites.
Yeah. Okay, talking about the grape variety in Chile, everyone knows that Cabernet is the most typical, the most famous one in Chile. Yeah. But your winery is more focused in Malbec rather than Cabernet. Of course, you still produce Cabernet. So why is that direction be like that?
As practically everything in life, that's something that happened, I have to say, that out of our control. We have a very old vineyard, sorry, in Colchagua, that my father, when he was in charge of the company, he bought. That was in 1966. Yes. And that vineyard was planted at the end of the 19th century. So nowadays it has more than 120 years. The oldest blocks there were blocks of Cabernet Sauvignon and Malbec.
Oh, okay.
So when I start running the company to face the international challenges of export our wines, I identified that one of the important assets we had there was this particular grape variety for Chile that was not very planted at that time. And on top of that, a very old one. And on top of that, producing always one of the best quality that we produced at that time. So it was very obvious that in general, if you have things that you could make your company, your product be special, you have to take the opportunity and to do it. And that's what we did in the early 90s. It was in 92 when Viu Manent was the first winery to launch a Malbec on the label and confessed as a Malbec. Prior to that, Malbec was a blend, was a variety that was used in Chile for blending, but not important in terms of the identity on the labels. Of course, that gave us a strong relation that we have been consolidating over the years with Malbec. Nowadays we have 7 different Malbecs. We have a portfolio of 24 different wines. So it's about 30% of our portfolio are Malbec. And of course it's a great variety that is the flagship variety of Viu Manent nowadays.
Okay. Well, we have really have to thank Jose so much. I have been having such a good lesson today.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity, and